Nice to meet you.
Well, thank you. I met you last year, didn't I?
I know, but I don't remember you.
Yes, videotape.
What's that?
We did meet last year, but...
I also met you at San Diego, remember? I lost 20 pounds and cut my hair.
It's good to see you again, Jack.
Well, yeah, nice seeing you around. Are you going to be around the room today, or just right there? All right, we'll be talking then sometime.
Let's take Jim Maine's picture.
Hiya, man. How you doing?
Lame Jim Maine, yes.
What do you want me to say?
Grim Jim. Snarl at the camera.
Just promoting
Threaten his life.
Yes.
Lean over the table and wave a fist in his face.
And there's Steve Keeter.
Hi, Matt. I want to answer the question that I was asked last year on the small press panel. In the fandom for fun, friendship, and camaraderie. That's for the record.
Thanks. I never got that straight. And here's Ben Lewis.
Now, you like my new haircut?
What's the same last year?
Yeah. Well, I got cut every day. You know, if they like my beard, my beard. Get close up on that one. It's getting there. I shave all around it every day just to make sure it's a little beard. My coat.
Latest Renegade?
That's the latest Renegade. And wait a second. Since I'm only 15, I was trying to get this printed. They didn't all of a sudden let me print it because Al's selling here. They didn't consider it too happy. But I got it done anyway. They were going to call my mommy and ask her if it was okay, but I convinced them they didn't have to. Well, bye, man. I'll be back.
Ben Lewis. Down there in Guy from Renegade.
My latest stuff is a return to the old scratchy sketchbook style.
The old sketchbook style?
Why are you returning to that style?
Because I had those pages sitting around. Ready to go. It's a victim of haste-up disease. You put out a comic of what you have. See, on Thursday nights we got the Raleigh Cartoonist Guild. And I was drawing those little one-page comics. They're just sequential panels, you know. In Thursday Night Cartoonist Guild. I didn't have any place to put them because we weren't putting out a fanzine like we thought we were. So I just collected them into a mini-comic. What the heck?
Yeah, editing.
Why do you do stick figures, man?
Yeah.
I drew that way when I was 13 years old. I really liked it.
A lot of writers think, oh, I can
That's the only reason?
It's an interesting style. It's different from what everybody else is doing. It's a repudiation of the too complicated art style. Lots of people will go around trying to draw like heavy metal comics and airbrush everything, get the tiniest little shadow and the tiniest little nuts and bolts. And so it's a repudiation of that. You know, it goes too far the other way, but excess is excusable in certain cases, like this one.
Good answer. Very nice.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Will Pfeiffer, and I'm Steve Peters, the Violent Man, popular mini comic that's been on hiatus for God knows how long, but now it's like back with a hip photo cover that was like really easy to do, and continued, so you have to buy the next issue.
You went ballistic.
I got about it.
What do I have here that you can look at? Well, this is what I'm handing out to all the big publishers, see if I can get a real job. Not that Still Dragon isn't nice, but I like to get a little bit more money. Let's see. What else do I have in here? Anything of interest? Let's see. Covers galore. Communist superhero right here.
The Red Square.
Something like that.
Now you're going. Okay, now the light's on. Now we're here. I do this shit every day at work now. This is my job now.
I still have.
I'm almost getting used to being on camera as opposed to behind the camera.
Right now,
I don't like being on camera.
All right. Me? No. I'm from New Jersey. I'm moving to Oregon in another 31 days, so that should be an interesting trip.
Okay, why don't you introduce yourself for the video and show us what you're publishing?
Okay. You start. I'm bad. You start. You start. All right. Hi, I'm Amy Sachs. This is my comic book.
You should get some material together and mail it in.
What else do I say? Help me out here, guys.
Say something witty. As far as I can tell,
Get stupid. Witty yet
big
stupid.
muscular guy hitting somebody is
I
better
forget.
than if
I'm Jennifer Lee, and I publish
emotion
Neophyte
expressed,
Bunnies
a point
so
made.
far. Buy us. We need money. We're going broke buying Xerox cartridges. Please. Is that witty and stupid enough?
Yeah.
It's your turn. Do you have your...
No. I'll come back I'll come back
You
later.
have to hit him up later. Wait, I may have yours.
Yeah, I know. Oh, the thing is that I don't object to superheroes. It's that I figure, my God, you've got one.
I've got it. Go, Paul, go.
It exists. I think one this I'll admit, I was responsible at least in part for this thing.
Beautiful example of a guy with a story to tell as well as color.
Well, this is the second issue. This is like arrived as of this week.
What's your name?
Paul Winkler. I'm from Long Island.
Okay, take it from something
Who are you?
I'm Paul Curtis. I review fanzines for Comics Buyer's Guide.
You look very familiar to me. Have you been to any New York cons?
Every now and then.
Excuse me, my name is nice to meet you.
Amy, I have a fanzine named Amy.
Is this your assigned copy?
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't mean it like.
I'm Alan Moore. This is Frank Miller.
Hi, I'm Frank Miller. I have no money. I don't do comics.
Yeah, we have a used car dealership in Des Moines. He's going by Rob Sires. I'm Mark Fisher.
You have your book with you?
He's Frank Miller.
You don't have, okay, you guys skin graft comics.
Skin graft comics. Mark Sires, Rob Fisher.
This is our book.
The card.
Tell me your name.
Don't get it. It's 25.
Okay, and you help
Doesn't fall down as long as it
Allen Freeman with William Banks.
I co-edit. Right.
Is Allen here today?
Yes, he is. He's over at our table. He's selling Brad Foster stuff and ours.
Yeah, you can fill them all the time, but the cartons cost $70.
These are new comic books.
Comics!
They're very nice. Comics.
See, these are Captain Spaz, one of only 3 comics that makes you consistently laugh out.
I have to make
Yes.
This is no longer going to be a family video.
I'm getting kind of tired
At
of
the printer, they wouldn't let me print this because they almost didn't let me print it because they had 1 page.
We already saw that.
You're already on the tape. And over here, we have famous Brendan Kramer.
And Matt's like, go ahead, sitting around doing nothing. Yeah.
Yo, Brendan. Brendan.
To the League of Sammys now.
There's Paul Burnett.
I think we should
There's something I think quite
do
serious.
a 3-part.
They don't have enough copies to my wife with this. If we make a video, we could have one.
Oh, good. They took my picture yesterday, so I imagine there's going to be a picture of me in there one of these weeks. They took 2 pictures of me, actually. Can we take your picture?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
A great film moment.
It's Jeff Wood. Mr. Jeff Wood, what a pleasure to meet you.
Mr. Maple, I'm
never
pleased
seen you
and
before
honored
in my
to
life.
make your acquaintance. Yes.
Amazing, yes.
Mr. Maple.
It's Mr. McLeod. Oh, pleased to meet you.
Thank you, Mr. Maple, for your letters.
Thank you for your comics. It's
Unmasked for the first time.
How's that? Is that stupid enough?
What are you buying? Matt's issue?
No, Victoria's here. You get your comic book newsletter?
Oh, he does. That's great. Wow. You read I Saw?
No, I can't read it.
Matt's got that on tape too.
Was he resigned from
Attack! Freebies!
Free copy.
There you go. Yes,
Yeah. I'll wait for the next one to come along. Look at Matt. He's
Someone we wouldn't be here at all. He's taking pictures again.
I've got actually a champion pitch. This one's 25. I've got 13 and $20.
And right away, it's real popular in North Carolina.
Well, I was actually talking.
Unguarded for a bit.
That's right. You were the scheduler.
I was Funker himself. Got anything new out, Chuck?
Well, this balderdash, that's Ann Floyd Flanders, number 3, those are the two most recent. Turn it off.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you about what I want you to do. See, I'm gonna act like a real, gosh, wow, fanboy. Say, gosh, Scott McCloud.
Ready?
Yeah, he's like
Scott McCloud?
Well, hello, it's
Scott
Wade.
McCloud? You're the guy who does that? Oh, boy.
That's right.
A real pro. And you're a pro who likes small press comics, too. Gosh, Vito, wow, Jeepers Keen.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, really groovy, man.
He's great.
I mean, come on.
Just got one more table. Isn't Colin Upton great?
We had us happy. Well, we're going for this happy net, but we ran in trouble. We were distributed by Capital. They didn't pay us. No, Capital paid. Capital paid about half of it.
The voices.
And there was another one that went under that didn't pay us. So we couldn't play our picture roles.
Did we do this last year? Did I do voices for you last year? Or something like that? And I did my versions of your characters? Yeah. Okay. Well, I can do a reprise. Yeah. Colin has a real, by the way here.
Yeah, it's the art style and the way he writes stories.
Who? Colin Upton. Oh, yeah. So are you, by the way, Chuck. I didn't get a chance to say I like your stuff.
Hi, Matt, and it's just exciting to be here. Now, send your tape along, and we'll give you that new edition of Bad Home Movie Theater featuring a short interview by you. Thank you very much.
Oh, my God.
Good night.
Look at that.
Taken out of the formula.
If you want to talk, I can talk.
Like a
I'm just trying to
higher
Okay, you're on camera.
I'm on camera. Give me that. It's 1988, okay? All across the USA. It's another year for me and you. Another year with okay, no 80, so. Year with nothing to do with 1988, baby.
Ken Bruzenak for American Flag, published by First Comics.
What are they all cheering about? Somebody won.
I sold Bob Pepper a not an original Matt Fiesel sketch for 10 cents. Yeah, you might keep it and miss.
That's my big wow.
Strap our stuff
All right, well, okay, Terry, nice to see you.
Oh, so you two are the same person then?
Ken Leach.
Let's bend over together over that money there.
We've got more money than we've recorded.
We got more money than we sold books.
So it's controversial.
Books are great too.
This is going to be the CBN.
It would seem that the thing to do with the extra money would be to donate it to one of the new zines to help
Or
promote
split it
small press.
between Comics Effects and Comic Book Newsletter.
I think what we have here is an expose. There's somebody.
Okay, exactly how much money is it?
$8. People are spending just too much money on
There's
small
$8
press
over.
comics.
I don't think it's too much money.
No, there's not $8 over.
I think they gotta spend more.
There's only $3 over, so it's not as bad.
Why don't we just invest it in an old Superman or something and wait for it to go up and make money on it?
Yeah, it's kind of like
Not a John Doyle.
I have to get changed for this $5 first.
Small press, what a phenomenon.
Small press comics are the last bastion of creativity in cartoon.
Most of them did 8, I think. 6 to 8. Or 12. And then the... Is there going to be a party in room? Boy, that Fiesel, he's great, isn't he? He cleans up.
Do a sketch for him.
Okay.
Why, he's a living legend. A living legend in small press. There's nothing the guy can't get away with.
Your mother. Look, I got an original Matt Fiesel sketch. It'll be worth $1 million next July.
You know, I'm Tim Corrigan.
You're Tim Corrigan? Shaving the hair.
Box. He'll have a Garrett Rain tape with one and the cramps with the other. Yeah. He'll play the Garrett Rain version really loud. The customers will be like, what the hell is that? And they'll play the cramps version really loud. Yeah. Those little kids like to run out of the store. Like, yeah, it's like they all start running out of there for $5 for $1 box. They'll like $1 copies.
What would happen if you ever played a Swans record or something like that? Or
You guys ever heard the Tubes song?
I've
A
seen
song
it.
called Theme from the Woolly Place. It's Woolly Bully over the top of Theme from the Summer Place.
Dude, it's exciting now, isn't it? See? Zoom in, 3D, huh? 3D hamburgers.
Autofocus,
Yes.
autofocus, special sauce.
Confuse autofocus, yeah. Yes. See,
Which felt good.
He said,
The
yeah.
dough's been running down. Want everybody to know that I'm wearing no less than 6 of Matt Fiesel's turn buttons.
You're a walking billboard for me.
Yep. Exactly.
How'd you do it today, Matt?
I'm pretty good. Not too much. 50, 450, 550, somewhere around there. 2 days, about $10. Enough for a while.
See much besides the artist room? I know I didn't. Is there much going on besides what's going on in the artist room? I don't think I see.
I got a sketch from Ted Brady, the guy who does Roses Rose. It's really cool. Clem, little hair sticking up. And I brought a print from Mike Peters.
Yeah, GBA.
$25. Wasn't that bad? Like, it's pretty good. Pretty good size.
50. Well, actually, you know, apparently my Wild Side comic was selling pretty well at the UFO table, but I haven't seen anything from that. So.
You ran Chuck's table most of the
Yeah, which I didn't want to. No, I volunteered to be there for about an hour, and I was stuck there for a little bit longer than that. But, you know, it was okay. I hope to get around the con a little bit more today.
Sorry, but that's because I fell asleep.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to volunteer to do that anymore this weekend.
Yeah, you put in your time, I think.
Yeah.
How do you describe John Mayer?
It's been so long since I've heard him, I don't remember.
Don't go anywhere because my radio is here. What kind of club?
I don't want to just give you a little pop tweak for your box. Real healthy pop. Always
Fruit pop?
reading.
Pop without sugar?
About caffeine or flavor.
I'm going to tell that anything.
Granola pop. I brought a video camera. I was considering bringing a video camera here and making a documentary, which I would call Twisted
Coke and
Geeks.
Pepsi. Okay.
I may yet do that.
Steve, what kind of pop do you like?
It's a perfect title for a documentary on small press.
I did that, asked you, so that Matt would get the camera off me and onto someone else.
Oh, there we go. Yes, first film. Well, Steve Thompson, film at 11. Hey.
Well, I still remember being just
Oh yeah, and then we did air that too. That did go over the air.
Still kind of like a
graduation photo.
You like just pointed at the ceiling or something.
It would have been.
Woody Allen.
Your state of mind was beautiful. It's been all day.
I used to watch Woody Allen movies at 2 o'clock during college.
So tense about what's coming up.
You're not used to having that much attention to these stuff.
You kept a comment, you think this is so much attention, we keep having to do things over and over again. Oh, incidentally, do you know why we had to do things over and over again?
What's scary? Cameras? Photographs?
Yes, he only explained this to me later. I said, Pete, if you ever drink heavily, Geo's or supplements.
Would you mind going back to my room and getting my Diddy Dash cover? Yeah. You know where you can get some pens too?
Oh, are there any pens there?
No. What did you say? Did you say I'm in charge of this asshole?
No, I didn't say that. No, it's a satchel.
Oh. Paranoia, great destroyer. Oh boy.
I'm mad. Hothead.
No, I mean I was just admitting that
I've been calling him Cleos for a long time. My wife informed me.
Well, it's like Gavin McLeod.
Yeah, we really do.
Matt, do you have any pens?
Scott McCall. He's already got they've already got him in the Eclipse checklist. 48 pages.
Sort of, yeah.
We only have one Steve Roman over there.
2 ounces.
Great.
We don't have any reproducible black pens.
Don't go in that bathroom with that camera.
Hi, Jim. Yeah, this is my wife, Karen.
Hi.
Jim Pack.
Drag her here, huh?
She came here of her own volition.
Along more of my material for anybody who hasn't got the whole checkbook collection today.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a long history of association.
Hey. Chew hot cereal.
Bravo.
Now, what were the other ones?
Smile. You're on
Figure out 4.
Candid
Do we have
Bezel
4?
camera.
Why is there no apostrophe in the don't walk light?
Keep working.
Hi. And the fourth question, did we have Yeah, why did they take the... Why did they take... That's right. Not why did they... How do you feel about the removal of the Howard Johnson steeple? That's the fourth question.
Well.
You're all going to get to express your opinions on these 4 great, burning, profound...
Hi, my name is Bobby Weiss. This is my partner, Sam Henderson. In the middle is Todd Ritter. And the 3 of us together are known as...
WTH.
No. Actually, all 4 of us together with Rob Sturmer are known as the 4 Sammy Davis Juniors.
Hey, come on, I got the goods. Chicken and hungry.
Can make the sunshine in the world break apart.
Such despair. SPC is dead and gone. And it was supposed to last till Tim got struck by lightning. And then, what's this?
The voice of God.
Oh, boy,
Behold, it's the comics.
I'm saved. I'm saved. Now, where's my lighter? Where's my lighter?
No, you fool. The Comics FX, not the Comics Fixer.
Right. Here's the price, $85.
Yeah.
They were like,
Slice your fingers off just trying to get
yeah.
I know.
You're willing to laugh. You got a lot of material.
Matt's back. Matt, the evil camera.
Ham up.
Yeah, sure, bring back some Bristol boys. So I can start my own project next. You get the lettering guide? Jim Pack.
Turns out I can't get the cable unhooked for his TV. They usually call housekeeping and you send somebody up for giving them 20 minutes.
Well, that works out fine for me. Wasn't around. Like there's comments going on in this room.
So, like in Blackadder, have you seen the one where
so we've been publishing books for a long time.
Molly is back?
And the piece on
There's one gag that I had written about all the time. The sign saying, let's just tell all we want to know. We are not horses. Like an afterthought. There is a Quaker Man gag in Balderdash. Let's go. Saving one for Carol Silverstein. Oh, Nixon. Atomic and the woman. Both.
You already missed us reviewing Howling Hero. You should be ashamed of yourself.
W.C. Pope from Paradise Scratch.
Did you get any
from
sleep?
Texas?
I hope.
New York.
New York, okay. You know Brian Kirk?
Yeah. Yep.
How much, what kind of stuff have you been taking pictures of here?
Just around this morning. Nothing much. But I'll get you guys later on.
Okay. I think Jim Main's going to put it on, Jim Pack's going to put it on audio cassette.
Excellent. And I'll have it videotaped.
I think Brendan Bramer volunteered to videotape it for me.
Excellent.
That looks like the Joker. Is that okay? Does that look like the Joker? Demented, anyway.
Eek! Ah! I've never seen anybody captured so well.
Full version of Scott McCloud.
This is issue 6, and I keep thinking I should hire Matt to do my sound effects. I need
anything new out? Any new Rambies?
Sound of wonton. No, like the sound of wonton soup being sucked up through a bent straw.
We almost have the Brisbane Captain Saucer team about.
I was thinking more.
That would be cool.
Floor. Yeah.
How does that spell?
Are you still in?
Sort of like this, only with more vowel, a higher consonant to vowel ratio.
That'll be schluck. If anyone
We also have.
No, but I mean, it needs to be drawn out more. It was in my other sketch pad. I think you need
Widget Incorporated.
I'm sorry, Dad. I won't let it happen again. What about EW instead of original art?
Yeah.
Write it down. Use it later. No, it's very difficult. Nadi has a very difficult time at restaurants. Everybody's going to a restaurant.
You're from Paradox Productions. Is there a connection? Is this the plot development? Is this an analogy? Does this show that we're really deep artists?
Infamous Maple. Zoom in on his name there.
This is Allen Freeman. We got a close up of him last night. Jeff Wood. I've never met you before.
Okay. Hello.
I wasn't there last night.
Carol Silversinski meets Allen Freeman. So.
Right. Hello. Get that close up on the hands there.
Yeah. Do you understand? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Hands across the water.
And we're counting on you to do all the talking.
And moi.
Pam. Both.
We. Because I don't want to say anything.
Okay, I guess.
He's not on the list.
Right.
He's not on the list.
Wade's on the list.
My gun right here.
He is?
Keep my Uzi.
I thought I was going to have more people.
No, he isn't. He's not on the list.
I thought I was going to have more people than I was. But he was.
Just a few fragmentation grenades, a couple of phosphorus
1,
grenades.
2, 3, 4, 5.
About,
7 chairs
gas
up there.
mask, tear gas grenades.
You can't be Sergeant Rock. You don't speak with an Austrian accent here.
Oi!
Yeah.
Let's do it. A song book. Have you thought of a name for it?
Oh, yeah, the printing. I'll do the printing story, yeah.
Uh-oh. We started the panel as is. The panel proper started. Welcome to 1988
Pan in.
Comic-Con and Small Press Tribal Gathering. I have to my left some of the shining stars of the Small Press Comics field. This is Jeff Wood, Comics FX, Allen Freeman, Slam Bang, Carol Silversinski.
Yeah, Carol.
Wade Busby, Comics FX, Paul Curtis, Micro Comics, and Jim Pack, Comic Book Newsletter. Let's hear it all for you. I guess my first question is for Jeff and Wade. You all have started a new newsletter for the Small Press field, haven't you? copies of it?
Yeah, we have some copies of the comics FX, but they're not right here at the panel right now. We'll try to have them within the next hour or so. So drop by the small press table, which is in the artist room, and we'll give you your free copy of the Comics FX number 3.
Okay, well, my question is...
While supplies last.
Well,
Pretty limited right now.
who's the first guy to do this?
What's that?
Who first did Fame and Comics?
That was Kevin Collier.
Kevin Collier, right. He chose the job, he drove Kevin Collier, ruined his health, drove Tim Corrigan to the poorhouse, Jim Hack started doing it and look what happened to him. What makes you guys want to do that same thing?
Well, there's 4 of us. So the job is spread out. Bigger, supposedly, but still. It's fun, it's fun.
Well, with there being 4 of us, we thought we could kind of split up the jobs and it'd be a lot easier on us. The previous people who did a newsletter for small press were all trying to do it on their own. And with 200 to 500 subscribers, it's a fairly large job to collate and collect and print all these copies and all this news and everything. But the 4 of us, we figured it'd be easier, but we're still being... We finished up at number 3, the Comics FX, like at 6 o'clock in the morning the day before going to the printers, which was the day before we came to ChicagoCon. So it is still a difficult job, but it's fun. We get together. We have people in Seattle that come over and help us with it. Brad Carlton, the cartoonist in Seattle, and some of you probably know Michael Dowers, and Seattle Star, and who else? Chris and Leslie Lake. Yeah. Al Hardy. Leslie from Seattle Force, Al Hardy. Otherwise known as the Birdman. And that's about it. We're having fun with it, and we're up to about 250, somewhere between 250 and 300 subscribers with edition number 3. And issue number 4 will be the special San Diego issue. We'll be giving away about 600 copies or so of San Diego copies here. So I do recommend buying ad space for your small press comics or independent titles in Comics FX for next issue.
I wanted to say I have a far deeper respect for Kevin Collier and Tim Corrigan.
Yeah, we realize now just how much work it was to put those things together.
Jim, how long has Comic Book Newsletter been going?
We're on issue number 22, celebrating our 2nd year in 2 months.
Wow. How do you keep it up?
Well, luckily I have the aid of a computer that helps a lot of that. I save a lot of information on a disk, scan a lot of things. If it wasn't for desktop publishing, I don't think the Comic Book Newsletter would have ever gotten off the ground. The first 8 issues were pasted up like a normal magazine was, and after about 8 issues, I had to give it up. Then I bought the Macintosh computer with a laser printer, and cut the paste up production time down at least 200%. So it's easier to put out now than it was at the very beginning. We have a subscription probably about 200.
Hold up a copy of the book and show us.
Yeah, this is the Comic Book Newsletter. It's a magazine style. This one's printed offset.
Open it up and show us the inside. So it's the Macintosh typesetting.
Okay, it's all typeset. The computer typesets the whole thing by the laser printer. The illustrations are dropped in. Now, this particular illustration that you can see it on your left, I suppose, is a scan icon or image taken from the computer itself. The computer has played a very important role in the creation of this particular comic book, which I think in this particular magazine, which I think is kind of indicative of the way that that small press is going with the new technologies that are coming along, that are available to everybody. The Citizens publisher can now put out a real professional-looking product.
The Citizen publisher, I like that. What kind of technology do the rest of you guys use in publishing? Are we still just photocopiers and paste out here?
Offset. Girls, huh? Offset press would be...
Yeah, you know the offset frame, 2-color cover?
Right, 1 color. Working the young way. I publish Slam Bang. It's a digest.
and I get contributions from everywhere, and I try to show off these unknown, or, well, sometimes they're already known, and they like to see themselves in print, so I try to oblige. And the offset would be about the only thing I can say about being advanced. You know, I mean, still pay stuff, and typesetting is still the old-fashioned way.
So how's the end of the black and white blood affected you guys? Do you have any problems with distribution now? How many copies do you print?
Thousands.
Usually about 100 to 200 usually.
Yeah. Well, there's no problem with what there, right?
No, I haven't seen no effect. So I'd say, if anything, we get more contributions from the people that all of a sudden the books, like there's less black and white books than there were, so there are more people trying to see themselves in print than there were. So you get more contributions and better contributions.
For a publisher, the buyer's market, that.
Definitely.
Let's see. Any questions from the audience? Let's hear something outrageous. Yeah.
It's not very outrageous, but I was wondering if you could elaborate on the end of the black and white era or whatever. I'm not really...
Black and white what?
Yeah, the glut. Yeah, that has killed sales of black and white magazines.
Paul, would you like to respond to that?
Well, it's hard to say, being part of one of the people who went under on that. It was originally, it was an investor's thing. Nobody was reading them. As soon as investors figured out prices were not going up, they stopped investing in them, and one was left with the people who were reading them, which wasn't enough to support real books. I mean, there weren't enough people to support most fanzines. A lot of the people here who are still doing independent black and white comics have finally got used to the fact that the reason they're doing it is because they love it, not because they think they're going to pay their mortgage payments with it. And depending on your attitude, whether you think people should be more business-like or more artistic, it's either a good move or a bad move. Does that make any answer?
What I was looking for.
Okay.
Well, so is it a hobby or a business?
Hobby. It's a hobby.
Hobby for you guys?
Religion.
You only draw comics on Sunday. Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, well, there's some of the most business-like people in the hobby up here, as far as I can tell. For me, it's tax write-off, I guess.
There we go.
Okay, any other questions?
What dog?
What was that, Chuck? Doug?
This is a really outrageous question.
Yeah.
My mom, when I first in the world, wondered what would happen if Filippo Marinetti met E.E. Smith.
I don't know, what do you think would happen?
Well, E.E. Smith is dead.
I mean, this is so Filippo Marinetti.
Oh,
So
okay, well,
maybe they have.
Okay, I didn't know the first name. What did the first name do?
Filippo Marinetti used the poet laureate of the Italian picture.
Okay.
They threw a great party.
Okay.
I wasn't good without it.
It's one of those things they can just continue. Right, they'll probably answer you. Ugly and license. Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps you understand the market is small press. It's not just people that contribute, but just readers alone. And I think Jim's got some good ideas on how to do that. I'd like to hear him talk about that. How to expand the audience of small press, I guess.
Jim.
Oh, well, my personal philosophy about this whole thing is comics is comics is comics. It doesn't matter whether it's printed in a digest format or a regular comic book format.
For restaurant gum.
Yeah. The product remains the same. It's still drawn. It's in some cases funny, in some cases adventurous. I think the small press,
because of the virtue of our own exclusive format, which is mini comics and digest, need to sell ourselves a lot more, become the exclusive product that we certainly are, and in that way bring more readers into the small press.
Who are we selling ourselves to?
I like to think that we're selling small press to the intelligentsia of the comic book world, because the small press is not just for everybody. There's a certain amount of people out there who don't think a comic book is a comic book unless it has a cape in it, or someone who has a secret identity. The small press divorces itself from that particular genre in the fact that we deal a lot with slice of life type things, biographical sketches, things that happen to ordinary people in an ordinary day. And in some cases, very exciting, especially if you've experienced that yourself. The small press needs to generate a lot more interest in their product and, of course, get it out. I'm not talking about large numbers here. I'd like to see small press have most good small press books have a circulation of about 1,000 to 2,000 people, just like the literary small press does. It can be done. It takes a lot of fortitude on the part of the individual publisher. They have to be consumed by this particular job that they're doing at the expense of maybe some other things that they should be spending more time on, like their family and their children. But if the small press is going to attain the peak where they should be, and that's exploration and experimentation, they have to get a lot more books out, and they have to get them in the hands of the right people. I know there's been some talk about taking an anthology of small press and taking it to the non-comic book buying public, since they would be more interested in the slice of life and biographical type of work. But that remains to be seen whether that can be done or not. I'd like to see it myself. I think there's a place for that sort of thing in the comic book field. I think that four-color comic book is almost dead. That's my personal opinion. Did I go too far?
I'd like to add something to that, if I may, real quickly. I think one thing we need to do is define the intent of small press. Small press, as I see it, is intended as a means of self-expression. There's a lot of people, I think, who buy comics who would like to see a certain story or a certain genre, or who have their own ideas about what should be done in a comic book story. Small press is the best place to get that exposure, is to, no matter what their level of talent is to get those ideas on paper, do what they would like to do, get it published, have other people see it, and get the all-important feedback on their own ideas. And I think this is the fundamental reason for the existence of the small press, is for people to express themselves. That's why I make small press comics, is because I would like to see certain stories and stuff, and I put it down on paper. And when I give it to the small press, I know they're not going to laugh at me, even when it's just really ridiculous or really awful or whatever. I get honest feedback. They say, well, you can make it better in this and this and this way. And I have a lot of fun that way. And as far as expanding the small press, I would like people to know that we're open. The small press is an open field. You can make whatever you want, and you can copy it, and you can sell it, you can advertise it and sell it. And people will buy it and critique it, and it'll really help you grow as an artist. It'll help you express yourself. It's even a means of self-identification, and I really recommend that. And you can talk to any small presser about that, and they'll help you get started if you're thinking about doing something on your own. And that's all I've got to say about it. Question?
Yeah, Tom. Well, Rob. Down the line, what are your favorite small press titles?
Captain Spaz, Captain Saucer, and
Renegade.
Overclock. And Renegade.
Thank you. My favorite small press titles? To tell you the truth, I see so many of them. I like rock comics, and gosh, and I like anything with funny animals. Basically, I'm a funny animal person, so if it's got funny animals in it, I'll buy it.
Oh, I'd say like fan tunes, and I like to do more anthology. Wonder why, but I like to see a little of everything. You don't know what to expect, what's going to be in the next issue or something. But I also like the like Orbit and Rocket graphics, everything.
I've been paid $20 to say Renegade, so that's my favorite.
You did.
Really hard to say. Nothing really specific. No, it's not really.
What was the first thing you saw?
I do like Renegade, but there must be something just. I mean, Renegade's right at the top, but there's something really close.
I like a number of the anthology books. I like Fan Tunes, Bobby and Randy's Miscellaneous Comics, known as Miss. But mostly I like to follow specific artists. I wish Steve Willis were still publishing, in which case I would say anything published by Steve Willis, but that seems to be old news. I like Carol's comics. I like anything by Colin Upton of Canada. And I like anything by Sam Anderson and Bobby Weiss, the Captain Spaz and related titles, because they make me laugh out loud.
Well, I really like Slam Bang. That's probably one of my favorite titles put out by Mr. Freeman down there. Also, as a side note, I'd like to say that probably all the books that I like come out of the United Fanzine Organization, which is an organization of fanzine publishers that group together to try to put out the very best product they possibly can. And because of that, because of the group effort by those people, they put out some pretty darn good books. I think some of them actually rival the independents in art, story, and their only trouble is, of course, they're doing it in the small press format, which is a digest format, and they don't have the circulation. But I think all the books that the UFO put out are spectacular.
Good question. Sam?
What do you think of the word fanzine? Do you think you prefer the word fanzine or small press?
I think we said that last year. I'm for small press.
Yeah, fanzine is for talking about something else. Is the way I always, like what you like or don't like about a certain
as a fan of something
area.
else.
Yeah.
Small press is original.
The comic book newsletter, the CFX, are fanzines. We're fanzines of the small press and whatever we can get our hands on. The magazines put out by the individual creators are not fanzines. They're small press, limited circulation citizen publishing products.
Is this a term you are introducing here at the convention, citizen publishing?
I like citizen publishing.
I think it's very catchy.
Anybody in this audience can put out a magazine. First Amendment rights specify that you can do it, and I think it's probably the highest patriotic thing you can do to express yourself in some sort of a magazine, tabloid, in the footsteps of Thomas Paine. In fact, if you don't exercise that, well, he did. If you don't exercise that right, just like you don't exercise your body, it's going to atrophy. We can't afford our First Amendment rights to be taken away or misused.
Yeah. Other questions in the audience?
The audience for Zot 10.5 a total one-shot deal, or was it possible to have small press circulation? People reading small press at that meeting?
I think that was really a fluke. The circulation of Zot 10.5 was something like 20,000. I think that just came during that weird black and white explosion where the distributor said, okay, we'll take as many Zot 10.5 mini comics as the regular Zot circulation was, and a few more besides.
The tie-in really did make the difference there. It could have been a great book on its own, like all the rest of the stuff you do, except that it did have that color tie-in. And there's not too many color tie-ins that would care to go with, connecting with many comic publishers. The fools.
Actually, Yeah, the first printing of Zot 10.5 was 700 copies. Then it went to 20,000 with the second printing. That was actually more than Zot 14.5, which was full-size
Independent.
color cover black and white Eclipse comic I did as a fill-in issue. I had a print run less than 20,000. Who's to say? Wade, what's new? Yeah. Are you still publishing, or are you just working on Comics FX? I saw you were doing Brigade Comics.
Pantheon.
Pantheon?
It's about a rock band. It's a cross between the Monkees and, a couple of Marx Brothers movies and just a lot of things.
As it's about a rock band, is the fact that we don't have a soundtrack to it limited?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was in the process of making a tape bill of how would they sound. So I only got about 3 songs.
Do you have a band to work with?
I actually have a 4-track. I was
overdubbing. Yeah.
So you're making a soundtrack for your mini comic? And you're playing all the music yourself?
Small press.
Is that going to be available? Yeah, it's back there.
I can see this.
How about each one of you telling us what's next on your agenda and what format might be used for the next whatever?
I'm working. The Eclipse Zot is going monthly, and Scott McCloud has given me 6 pages to do as a backup strip. So I'm going to be doing a monthly 6-page stick-figure comic strip for Eclipse, and that'll be next on my agenda.
The next thing that I will be working on, of course, is the Comics FX #4, which will be our big San Diego issue. We'll be giving away lots of those in San Diego at that con, as I mentioned earlier. My own personal project is Snow Bunny Blizzard, my Snow Bunny Digest title, which I do myself. And the next issue is slated to have work by Juan Alfonso, Wade Busby, and small press extraordinaire Brad Foster. So it should be available at San Diego also.
Okay, I'll do my best to continue monthly with Slam Bang, so I'll be putting out number 21 in probably just in about 2 or 3 weeks. And then I'll be putting out Captain Optimus #4. Since it's continued, we are being pushed to do the next issue, but we'll have it out in September. And then we've got a series, Anarchy of Killer Kane books, and #1, we've worked our way from -1 to 0, and finally 1, because they didn't think, Michael Caine didn't think that those were good enough to be a 1, so it makes #1 probably be good enough to be #1 now. So then The Abyss, which is Michael Guerrero and Michael Caine book they put together, it's they're still working on, it's an anthology. It's out #1, but they're be working on #2. So I have a lot of different things I'm trying to work on to keep them going right now. So.
I just put out an all-Elvis issue of Zabani, and so my next project is going to be taking you to the King, and all the artists who worked on this will be getting free Cadillacs from him. If any of you buy Zabani and I see you on the street, just hold it up and I'll give you a ride in the Cadillac, okay?
These projects are doing the face-ups for Comics FX, and Pantheon 4 is in the works. It's basic plots there, but I don't know how soon it will come out within the next few months. But I'll be helping Jeff with Snow Bunny Blizzard.
I will be doing more of my columns for Comics Buyer's Guide. Yes, I have not died, and I do read everyone's books. I've just had a very tough time lately having time to type these things out. I have read all the books, or I will have read all the books that people have given me at this convention, yes. Also, I've got a series of microcomics. The last 12, which have not been printed yet, are pasted up and waiting for me to have enough money to print them. So there will be another 36 microcomics out probably September.
Well, as Rocket Graphics puts out 1 comic book a year, well, more or less. And it's called Comet Tales, and we're into our 5th issue. Actually, this was the only digest version of Comet Tales that's ever been produced. It's normally regular comic book size like this. Comet Tales 5 will be out sometime around September, I would hope. That's our project we're working on right now.
Isn't Tim Corrigan doing digestize?
Sure is. He's going right ahead with that distribution plan of distributing full-color covers, well, digest comics with full-color covers, trying to make a niche for himself in the distributor market. I wish him all kinds of luck, too, because that can really make some doors for some good small press material.
Are they going to look kind of like Comet Tales?
Actually, see, this is just 3 colors. Tim Corrigan's digest comics will have 4-color covers. I haven't seen one yet, but what I hear is they're supposed to look pretty good. I don't know about the paper stock or anything when there's going to be cost.
Allen, you mentioned Captain Optimus. That's still being written by T.M. Maple?
Right. And it seems that all the Eclipse, Comico, and Renegade, they all know who he is, that's for sure. So
there's probably more people who know who T.M. Maple is than any of us.
That's probably true.
I don't know if anybody knows it, but T.M. Maple is here today. He's in this audience.
Where is he?
There he is.
There he is.
There he is. Thanks for coming, everybody. This is the end of the panel.
This is neat, man.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi. Renegade, the comic book of choice of discerning viewers.
Hey, Wade. Wade Busby.
Was going round and around.
This is Allen Freeman.
Yeah, trying to like the hand thing. We're gonna work together for Comico and Marvel and DC.
We've just signed a deal.
We just signed a deal right this minute.
You gotta kill them all off and put them like Killer Kane as X-Man.
We're gonna drop all the characters.
The Shrieker of Pantheon.
Yes, take over. Probably Amazing Pantheon. We'll have that out.
TV ad soundtracks.
Have
We gotta go.
Oh yeah.
We gotta go.
Carol. When you're next year, you can wait for us.
Oh, well, at least that's yeah, well, once I get settled, I'll probably be able to, now we contribute to stuff, but read it again or more or less make it basic.
I said last.
I might have to get settled then, Oh, that's no problem. It'll still be an old merchandise master.
I know what you're going to say.
I read the news of issue. I'm like, oh my God, I can relate about my Well, I mean, that's what it's for.
I knew what you were going to ask. Help us.
I owe you some
something like that.
Yeah, no, you said when you were
Oh, please.
I'm glad some people in the audience ask questions.
Right, that always helps.
It's the hardest thing to share.
I think you're a very touching spot. Next year we'll do it again. Until then, he's zooming in and stuff. You can see like little lens over there.
It might just be focusing.
Yeah, that too. But ignore the part where he got in front of me and started saying, yes, I'm the king of small pros.
Name's like Carl. He just doesn't show because he doesn't get a lot of calls to say anything nice. No, he's a twit, but on the other hand, he's a twit that has some culture connection.
Compared to Rex Reed, he seems like only two.
Yeah, compared to Rex Reed, the man could be Cary Grant.
I haven't said anything yet. Neat.
Yeah, I wish I was able to.
No, I haven't saw any of you last night. You were now dancing very much.
I don't even know what I did last night. And this man keeps trying to give me money. Stop it.
I'll give up. I'll send you a trade or something if I ever publish anything.
Send me everything, man. Don't send me money.
They're even more politically incorrect than I'm politically incorrect.
He did a new picture.
I know, I'm not.
He did?
I know. I'm
He's
pretty
got
far
it
off.
with him?
He's got the water.
I got it over at the table. It's published by Brandy Body.
Oh, I have to go check it out.
HSC.
This is like my
Vegetarian is politically correct.
Okay, let's go get. Okay, Patsy, go
get keys. This will be fascinating on your tape. I'm going to my hotel room to get keys to my car so she can get her jacket. This is Kathy Hamilton. Hello.
How are you? I'm the one that left things in your car.
Yeah. Okay.
My claim to fame.
So see you in a few.
I love that. Brian Pierce used to have a headline in that Weekly World News, scotch taped to the light over his artboard. Things like, zookeeper kicked to death, ostrich horror. And in a recent issue, which I just loved, Moon is skull of beast which may have once threatened this earth.
Giant mutant star goat.
Yeah, giant
Yeah, that's what I hear. He's a very good artist, but you can't get anything out of him, you know.
Well, he's unpredictable.
Yeah, it looks like it. And you can give an impression of color with black and white.
I think life is like a small press mini comic. You know, it goes on for 8 pages and then has a funny ending. And there's staples in the middle.
Yeah. Stupid toy. Sometimes the staples fall out.
Sometimes people don't always buy it. Life.
Staples get bent and stab you in the finger and you bleed.
Blood goes.
I used to buy a lot of comic books only for the story, and I can't afford to do that.
That's awful. You know, something would really distract me, but it was usually I could manage to
took it upon themselves to,
you know.
So there's a time when
I see stuff with like the most beautiful artwork in the world, and I won't look at it because you know, I read it.
I was a member of the National Guard.
Beautiful is not everything. I want to do it.
What?
It's a good idea. Appropriated this table here.
What? Where's everybody? Which is moving. What?
How you go? It's over. Try to personalize it as much as possible.
Do you have sound on this machine?
He's the personal touch. You want to say something?
What would I say?
I don't know. What do you try? I don't know. You can sing a song.
Come on.
Okay, honey, I'll be back.
I use it mostly here. I use it mostly here, you know.
It actually was. It was pictured and everything, and then this year they left it out because I get. Hopefully it'll be back in next year because they said they were going. But I don't know.
Signy. On here?
No kidding. They were doing that like a couple months into it, you know, a couple weeks into it. Right off the bat, it was like $10 within a couple weeks, and within a month, people were asking $75 for it.
That's wonderful. This has to go on.
Was this strictly back to you? Of course not. I've got 4 copies left. We were selling them, even after people were selling them for that much for cover prices, so people were reading them and got away. Yeah, there you go.
I need to admit it. I've been meaning to, but I never have had one.
What's that?
Meaning. I've been meaning to it. It's like, there's a lot of things I'm meaning to read, and for one reason or another, I don't do it.
A lot of stuff out there. There's a lot to pick and choose from.
Get dry. There you go.
Sure.
I want to sit down and read. I don't spend the time.
I'm sure you guys
You have something up since I sold that.
Boring things like make a living.
No, it's true. You come home from work, you're tired, forget it. You don't have much time for anything else. Kind of tough.
Do a little reading.
You've got a little person.
I'm the law school.
Dad, what do you charge for a little sketch?
$1. And these days,
Kids.
Goodbye.
All this after $5.
That's right. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, people had a space here, so.
Yeah, it's free. Well, most of them can ask
Yeah, Matt.
Hey, Matt. I got one free. Wow!
It just came to $7.
The biggest dealer's room ever in the history of comics convention.
They were in here. Yeah. I'll see, probably, hopefully at Iola next year.
Matt.
Do any drawing?
Am I doing any drawing? You want a sketch or something?
I'd like to do a picture drawing sketch, but if you're not going to do any drawing, that's okay. I think I'm running out of battery anyway.
Oh. Okay. Do something for you.
Whether he wants it or not, it's there.
Better, out there sometimes. Depending on what you're doing, of course.
We try to provide on a consistent basis.
Punchline and then
I was very honored because you said you printed my letter before 21.
We need to
where I
print a
bitched
lot
about
more
the
as soon as we
California
get
girl,
home.
which I really loathe. And
Before we
had
advertise
me about it. I'm very proud that I make that my new name. Maybe the sourpuss.
Okay, I'm going to try to Xerox all of those Quantum comics I did last night and send you your original.
Thank you for choosing the DVD commentary. I'm Wade Busby.
And I'm Allen Freeman. We're glad to be here.
Very glad. And we're going to try to look how
There's
wonderful...
T.M. Maple.
Yeah, you, T.M. Maple.
Chuck Haspel.
Chuck Haspel. It was wonderfully timed.
Yes.
Jeff Wood. This was the year that I arrived late on Friday night, and everybody was asking where I was, whereas in '87, Jeff arrived late, so we kind of traded off there. That's right, it was Jim Main and Jeff Wood that picked me up at the airport.
Really?
This year, or '88.
So evidently Jim had been doing this for a while too.
Oh yeah. Jim and Steve go back to the early 70s,
Steve's
late 60s.
had also been doing it for a while.
This Ben Lewis. But this was the year where like a huge amount of us were in the UFO at the same time. There were like 25 members. You and I.
Yep.
Jeff, Jim, Steve, Larry Blake, Doug Culberson. I think Tim Corrigan was in at the time too. Brendan Gramer.
I now have my hair like Ben has his there. I like that run down the hall.
Yeah, very special.
There's Matt
effects.
Fiesel, the person who actually filmed most of this.
Yep. Somebody else is obviously behind the camera.
Right now, yes. And that's some art from Scott McCloud back there.
Yeah, behind him off camera right now.
Looks like an accountant.
Yeah.
So does he have a day job? Or what?
Wow, I don't know what it is now, but he did then.
Was it with newspapers?
I think so.
Yeah, we should have done more research.
Yeah. Well, this usually happens. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I'm supposed to be putting together some sort of interview piece that will ultimately show up in self-publisher, hopefully, if I ever get it done. But it was back in '02 when Ed Vick, Jeff Wood, and I had a little mini Comics FX reunion, and we just talked about old times back then. And
Who'd we say this guy was? Or did we figure that out? Violet Man?
No, he doesn't say. I thought he said his name at the end of the...
Did we know who... Oh, this is the guy that did Captain Confederacy.
Yeah. Because he shows the covers.
Yeah. At least the covers,
Here, yeah.
But I think he did the interiors, too. Wow.
Glanced through a few of those back then.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you think he'd be around somewhere.
Yeah. He did pretty good stuff.
I'm also wearing a shirt just like that. Right
I
now.
wear one like that later on in the panel.
Sure. That's what inspired me. There's some Doug Hulverson stuff in the back there.
Oh, yeah. And it's pronounced Oregon.
Oregon. Amy Sachs.
Mm-hmm.
Did she draw that?
Yeah.
Neophyte Funnies.
They're still around.
Really?
They're not really doing small press. I happened upon Jennifer Lee's website, and she's like an illustrator now, professionally.
Yeah?
Probably freelance, I suppose.
Paul. Oh, yes, I remember that. Was that a lot of, like, science fiction text?
Yeah. I think I saw that Event Horizon at like Comics Effects. It was a review copy, and maybe Ed picked it up instead of me.
Paul Curtis.
Microcomics.
Rob Schneider's.
Sires?
I thought you said Schneider's.
I'm pretty sure it was Sires. Anyway,
Really?
they're the Skin Graph Comics guys. Later on in '91, when like Ian Shires and I were, and a bunch of others were partying in the lobby at the Chicago O'Hare. Hey, who's that?
Ah, Todd Ritter.
Steals the show on the Space 05 DVD.
Oh, yes.
But
He was
anyway,
my chauffeur.
That's right, he was. The Skin Graph guys wandered out into the lobby, and because they had planned a party that night in their room, but nobody showed up, I guess.
Because they were all in my room.
No, this was in '91. This was
91, right.
87.
Here's the big dance.
Carol Sobocinski and Paul Curtis. I'm still not sure if that was in the kind of bar club in the hotel, because
Seems
I don't remember
awfully large.
Yeah, I don't remember it being 2 stories.
There's one person dancing with himself. There's your classic 80s gear right there. The girl in the glitter. Oh, she's leaving. What's
don't
that?
know what
I can't read
says.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
it's
must be a
him.
business card.
Okay, cool. I was actually reading the Comic Buyer's Guide in 77, 76.
Wow.
Yeah. And the first thing comic-wise that I ever had published was in the Comic Buyer's Guide.
Huh.
I had a little comic strip about 3 or 4 weeks in a row or whatever.
77? That was about
Oh, wait a minute. That's when I was reading it. When I first had those comic strips, it was more like 79.
Okay.
Or 80 when I actually had they actually printed something for me. But yeah, 77, I was actually ordering things from people who had those ads in the Comic Buyer's Guide.
Rob Bob Sturma upper left, Sam Henderson upper right, Ben Lewis and Bobby Weiss on the bottom there.
Captain Spaz.
Sam Henderson went on to bigger I should have done research on this too, because I don't remember the name of his comic strip he was doing up until recently. And he's had them published in books.
They're like graphic novel type books, aren't they? Or like
I haven't
paperback,
seen one, so probably paperback. Brennan Kramer. Matt something in the background. I see. But when you said 77, it reminded me of that's when I first was aware of small press, because a friend of mine checked out from the library a book called Make Your Own Comics. So it would describe all the various like Ditto and Spirit Gum ways of reproducing stuff, and it mentioned Rocket's Blast Comic Collector, and reprinted some covers from that, and how to submit and get your stuff published, or publish it yourself.
There's Tia Maple, the greatest letter writer ever. I still look to see every comic I get. I always look to see if he has a letter in there. But I think he mostly wrote to DC Comics for some reason, especially Batman, because he was really.
Oh, you mean older issues?
Yeah, there'd be more like in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
But at some point he had over 1,000 letters.
I would believe it.
I don't know what his grand total was, but. And this could have been his very first comic convention ever. Can't remember if it was 87 or 88. One or the other.
I don't remember him being there in 87.
Okay, so this could be his very first comic convention ever.
There's Andrew Pepoy in the background in the snazzy jacket.
Yeah.
I have a partially inked Brigade story that he did, that I did the pencils for, and he was going to do the inks, but he never finished it and sent it back to me. I'm never going to publish it.
I did some comic covers for, or worked with Andrew Pepoy, who he actually penciled the covers, and then I airbrushed them for New Frontiers. They only put out a couple issues, black and white.
Now he's a regular artist on the daily Little Orphan Annie strip.
Really?
Read that a couple years ago.
He did a few images for Slam Bang too. Back cover, I remember he did, like a Halloween issue, and he did like a pumpkin at the top of the stairs, and that was Jim Pack's lookalike there.
You mentioned, when we were doing that, when we were watching, editing this.
His illegitimate brother, I think.
There's great Chuck Bunker.
Chuck Bunker. He used to call me up all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was me.
Oh,
right
there you are. You're waiting your turn.
Well, I bought some issues of Zot and had them signed, and somebody was asking, like, what's your favorite comic, and I held it up right in front of him, right in front of Scott.
I saw him in San Diego, 2003, I think it was. I bought his Understanding Comics, or one of those, and he signed it. But he didn't remember me from Adam.
A lot of people meet him, because I don't think he really remember. I went to San Diego later on in '88, and he was there again. And
I told him I really liked his Zot book and all, and he's just like, okay, who's next? You know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, bye.
Oh, Randy Paskey and Bobby Pfeffer of High School Comics.
Yep.
Randy was the first guy to ever write to me in small press.
Oh, yeah.
And that was based on just who was it? Bruce Crislip used to publish Outside In, which was artists, creators doing self-portraits. And that was the first or second thing I did in small press.
Now, Bruce was from this area at the time.
No, he originally was from Ohio, and he moved out here. And then
he went back.
He moved back. Kind of like what you're going to do, move back to Kentucky.
Right. But, yeah, he's a really nice guy. I talked to him both times I went to SpaceCon, you know.
Okay.
He always sits up there.
He was always at the Cartoonist Northwest meetings.
That's the Terry LeBlanc lookalike.
LeBan?
LeBan's lookalike.
Lookalike, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the stuff that Terry Laban draws.
There you
looks
go.
like him.
He looks like the character. Doug Hulverson. Interstellar Overdrive. Remember
Doug
those
later.
were large, oversized kind of books, weren't they? Some of them. I had
Yeah,
one once that
they
was kind of
were.
bigger than a magazine.
He tried to break into indie, but nobody would buy his stuff, and so he went on to become some sort of technician or somebody who worked at a nuclear power plant.
Oh, really?
In western Pennsylvania.
That's kind of scary.
Now he moved back to. I happened upon his website, and he moved back to Soldier, Iowa, and he's doing graphic design there now.
Fanboy.
Hulverson was ahead of his time.
Yep.
And he still is. That's probably why
no one's heard of him.
Caught on to his stuff.
There's Steve Skeeter, and here's someone pretending to be Matt.
I believe this is Sam Henderson pretending to be Matt Fizzell.
Yes, I think so. I'm trying to remember where my table was. I never did see it in this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I had one somewhere.
Here's the controversy. Too much money.
Oh, yes.
We were scamming the patrons here and
made too much, huh? Overage.
Now we're discussing how we're going to launder it.
Cover it up. Expose. This will be on 2020.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Some high finance.
Look at all those fives.
How are you going to ever split that up? Well, look, the table's half empty. He's already sold out almost.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. 87 and 88, we did pool everything, and then at the end of the day, we'd split everything up.
Well, I remember it might have been more like 89 when there was one huge table, and everything was on that one big table.
Yeah.
And I remember taking turns, and once I had to write down. I'll never forget, somebody came up to the table, I was there, and had me sign everything I'd done up to that point.
Wow.
I almost passed out. I'm like, the poor guy, this stuff's awful. I'm signing all of it. It must have been 89 or 90, I don't know, but I think by 90 this had all started to fade away. I think the small press seemed to be...
Yeah, I didn't go in 90.
In 90 it was
Chicago.
almost done with, we just sat there and there was hardly anyone around. And
well, I heard they
put us in some back room too.
Yeah, I heard about that. And it was...
I remember... what's his name that did American Splendor? Harvey Picard.
Harvey Picard.
He was there in the room with us. He had a little booth right there. Yeah.
Well,
I had some pictures I took of him carrying his boxes in.
Some people would consider him small press.
Oh, yeah. I had some signed, he had those magazine-sized comics,
Yeah.
Color covers. I had the famous McDonald's.
Larry Blake wasn't at the 88 con, was he?
I don't think so.
He was 87.
He was?
I think he was there in 91.
I think he was he was in that big photo of everyone in 87.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Corrigan. But they must not have been at this one, huh?
I don't remember seeing him in the tape. I'll have to look and see who that guy is, because he did Leftovers. I think I have some of those.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he might have been in the UFO. I'll check.
So this is like noon on day one or something?
No, this is day 2. This is Saturday. Because I was there. I wasn't there Friday, and You saw me wander into the shot.
Who do we think this guy is?
I don't
We
remember
don't
what
know.
he said.
We had a guess. Too bad Todd's not here with us to. He knows a lot of these people.
That's true too. I'm gonna have to recheck that one con photo. Actually, yeah, the big photo you're talking about, because we were trying to figure out who's who, and this
he was
DVD when I was watching it this last week. Now I know who Sam Henderson, Bobby Weiss, and
there's Ted Bullman sitting on the floor.
Ted Bullman.
Famous contributor to Slam Bang.
It was either this, it was either this year in '88, or Jeff Wood referred to him as the Jesus of Cool.
Jesus of Cool. I like that. I always loved that cover he did, Slam Bang number 8, I think, where he's, or was it 13? I think it was number 13. Anyway, he's driving his car from one place to the other. He's up on the little hill, and
oh, okay.
Because he was never stayed in one place very long.
Ah.
No one could ever get a hold of him. I think he would live with one relative and then go live with another. And
I remember hearing about that, yeah.
Who's this? We don't know.
That's Randy Paskey.
Ah. Yes. But Ted was ahead of himself too. I think he had some really out there ideas.
His work was simpler. It wasn't as complex for the most part as Holverson. Holverson was ahead of his time in terms of pop culture references. Everybody does it now, but back then he was the only person I was aware of.
Yeah.
Pulling out obscure, ultra-modern references to the 50s and
Ted's
stuff.
work reminded me a lot of Steve Willis, where they'd kind of go in a supernatural kind of state and make a comment on society, to some degree.
Yeah, social commentary. Bowman's stuff was more whimsical.
Yeah.
Willis's stuff was more biting.
Exactly. Yeah, he did a strip for me called The Axe Grinder. Do you remember that? Yeah, it was a couple of pages, and it was pretty real commentary there.
I was in this room at the time, but I was never caught in the shot.
Really?
I was somewhere on the floor. I think I'm underneath
the bed.
No, maybe. I was always under.
There's Todd and his friend Farmer sitting on the bed there.
Yeah.
Lincoln Farmer, believe it or not.
Okay.
I just remembered who both still live in Frankfurt, as far as I know.
Okay. Lincoln's my middle name.
Ah. There's Jim Pack. I remember taking pictures, and I like to take pictures of people reading Slam Bang, of course, and I remember had Jim Maine was sitting on the bed reading it, and Steve Skeeter, and no, they're doing some jam work here.
I was in on one, but I don't remember. I think it was this year.
Really?
I'm not sure if I have a copy of it. Because, I mean, obviously by the end of the con...
contributed to my first one in 17 years or something, 16. When I was at, well, you might call it a jam. It was a giant tablecloth at the Space Con, and everybody drew on it at that party. Yeah.
In the DVD, yeah.
And then they had that hanging by the panel, one of the panels I went in, and they had it hang at the table. They had some pretty crazy stuff. I don't know if I could follow all of it. Remember their...
on the
Captain
table?
Spaz.
Oh, their stuff?
Yeah, remember? It was kind of out there.
I don't think I read Captain Spaz.
It was kind of hard to figure out what exactly they were doing, but... It could have been ahead of their time.
Nice bit of improv there.
Exactly.
But yeah, Henderson and Weiss, yeah, they were WLH publications. They sent me a huge amount of stuff, and
well,
they were strangely whimsical, like Bowman.
There's the one person who I know has passed away.
Chuck Bunker, you
Yeah.
mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'd heard something just not too
Well,
long
I heard
ago
something
about
about Tia Maple, too.
Oh, yeah, that was 1992, I think.
Okay.
He was coming out of a grocery store and had a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened to Bunker.
Not
I just heard that he had
either.
passed away.
I forgot how recent it was, too. If it was
recent. It this year? I don't know.
No,
That's just
no.
when I heard about it.
I remember hearing about it last year.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Who did you say this was?
I didn't. I have to check my boxes of stuff at my mom's.
Oh, yeah. I think I can tell when Matt is filming and when somebody else, because it seems like sometimes it's a lot steadier than, at times. I think probably Matt is more...
Matt's used to the equipment.
Yeah. Looks like there's a little white out on there. Do you see where it's kind of different color? On the teeth and then...
Could be your monitor, but I don't know.
I don't know. My glasses.
It is whiter than
I do have something on my glasses. There, better, much better. No, I think at the time I was more like in awe of Paul Curtis for some reason, mainly because I guess he did that fanzine, one of those fanzines I keep thinking he did, but I know he did reviews for Comic Buyer's Guide.
Yeah. He'd been in small press for a long time at this point, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I...
See that drawing of the glasses with the ears now? That's some... Who...
This looks like Rob Sturman must be drawing this, but yeah, that might be Chuck Bunker.
And...
Next to him looks like Rob Sturman himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That definitely looks like Bunker, though. He's got the little mustache.
Yep.
Big mustache, right?
Oh, Bizarre Tales. That's
Bizarre
what it says.
Tales. Oh, here we go.
That's me on guitar on the left. No. Somebody.
That was
in
you on the right before
comic.
your sex change.
Yeah.
Oop! Oh, everything went black.
No, but that's one of those mainstream comic artists or writers who has his own band.
Now...
W.C. Pope.
Yes.
Who we just found out today did Arthur's World.
Yes. Good thing we watched this earlier.
Yeah.
It?
So we did some research.
July 3rd, 1988.
So we're up to Sunday already.
See, Matt's impressed with his equipment.
Well, Paradox Productions was the name of Pope's
Oh, yeah, that's right.
comic
That's
imprint.
right.
Yeah.
Wow. Is he... We'll have to see if he's still...
Probably Google him and
doing
see.
something. There's Scott McCloud showing a picture of him in the paper.
I've been to his website, too.
What paper is that? Comics Buyer's Guide?
Comics Buyer's Guide, yeah.
April something?
Probably
88, yeah. Ramby. I do remember reading that. Like I said, a lot of people just sent me stuff for free. I would just get tons of books in the mail.
I would trade with people. In fact, once I get back into it, that's pretty much all I'll be doing is trading.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to make a profit at all on Mr. Emergency.
Right.
I want to bring it back into just being a pure hobby.
Well, that's what we plan to do with this DVD since we don't own the rights to it anyway.
So if you have a copy of this and are listening to the commentary track right now, please don't send us your DVD of Daredevil. for one, I already have a copy of that. I think I bought it used. I rented.
Oh my God! Look, it's
the,
me. Younger me.
Your younger version, yeah.
That's back when I was in a regular size T-shirt. Oh, I love that carpet. Did you check that carpet out?
Yeah.
It's like Hawaii.
Seems like they might be the original carpet.
Here we are, Tim Maple and Jeff Wood.
Jeff Wood playing secret agents.
This is all the pre-panel jitters going on here. My first and only panel.
Mine so far too.
I've backed out of a couple since then.
I've never been asked again.
There's Chuck Haspel. Excellent designer. And dabbled in comics too.
Did the two of you have a studio together or something? Or
we worked together on a lot of things, but he would hang out in my studio a lot.
Okay.
He helped me put together some of those last few issues of Slam Bang. He and Todd both would come over and assemble it sometimes if I was too busy and just say, what are we doing in this issue? And I would throw them all the artwork and then they would just assemble the whole thing.
I see.
Yeah, and I'd write the commentary or whatever.
Co-editing process, okay.
Yeah, they were determined to see it keep coming out.
Literally putting it together, not just folding and stapling.
Because I would have stopped about 10 issues earlier, but they were determined to see it keep going. And
that's cool.
Some reason Chuck was stuck on 33 and said we should stop when we get to 33. I don't know what the magic was there, but it was. If it wasn't for Todd, and Todd still helps out now.
Yeah.
He back then he did the yearbook completely. You know, he put that together. It was his idea.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's the greatest hits where we did the first issue. So now here we are at the panel.
And it seems to be where Jeff and Jim Pack, once they get Jim Pack talking, they do most of the talking.
Yeah.
Paul does a little bit of talking. Carol does the least.
You and I do the least, don't we?
We do about the same, but we're not. I mean, Carol only answers the question of what's your favorite comic? Snoper's comic.
But you still had the best shirt, I think.
That's what I was going for, that best shirt award.
Attention, yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, Jeff has a snowboarding
He's got his shades on.
Thank you, Doug Holverson.
Hello.
We had a good run of Comics FX between like issues about 6 and 16, where we got international distribution.
Really?
More and more subscribers. Back then there was more than just Diamond distributing.
Oh, right.
So we had like at least 5 distributors pick
and
up
you just used all the money to put in the next issue? Is that what
we
you
were
did, pretty much?
Pretty well close to being in the black for a point. At a point, we would put our own money into it.
Yeah.
More often than not.
So you had a lot of subscribers, though, right?
Yeah, 200-300, I think, on average. We might have had more during the
so you had
early teens.
Pretty decent printing. You had decent, cheap.
Well, it was. I don't know how cheap it was, but it was close by. It was like a ferry ride. You take the Edmonds-Kingston ferry across the Sound to get to this printer quite a ways outside of Kingston. I'm not sure what the town of Kingston looks like, but well, it was probably cheap because we had to get maybe at least 1,000 copies printed.
Oh, yeah. You give out free ones at shows and stuff?
At Chicago Con and San Diego Con 88, we did that. Because we had the extra issues. At one point, we had to take most of what was left because Ed was running out of space in his apartment, to the recyclers.
Oh no. Well, here he's talking where he's starting to scan things in. The technology.
Yeah, see, Jim Pack brought a lot to the table today. He's wearing a... I just noticed Paul Curtis is wearing... He's not wearing a jacket, but he's got a
the
tie
tie
on.
and vest, yeah.
But
wow.
Here, Pack is making power moves here.
Right.
With the suit and all the copies of the comic book newsletter.
Right there.
Ready to be given out after the panel.
He's doing it right. He wasn't at the Space Con. I was surprised this year.
I saw in your photos of the 04 Space Con. He was at that one. I was surprised that Larry Nybert was at that one too.
Oh yes. Todd got him to sign some of the old slam bangs that he was in. Nybert. Yeah, I was expecting to see him again this year.
I only met him... When was he at Chicago Con? 87 or 89? Must have been 87, because that's when there were probably 24 of us from the UFO there.
So now we have to get everyone together for another panel. All the same people. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Well, Pac's still around. He's been on the Palaver chat a couple times.
Yes. Am I making any sense? I don't know. I doubt it.
What are you reciting, your
I'm
grocery
scared.
list?
I'm just scared.
Well, yeah.
I'm like a deer in the headlights. I just want to be over. You know, it's all I can think about. Why am I up here?
Well, I probably could have spoken a little louder when I was answering stuff.
Is he talking to me? I'm embarrassed. 200 is all. It's
well, my initial print runs 50.
I had quite a few subscribers at one point. You know, one year I added it all up and I had brought in $1,000.
Wow.
That's not, you know, counting all the money I spent. But that's how much I brought in.
Right.
I'd kept records. I had these little note cards of everybody that subscribed and then the ones that kept ordering, you know.
I never offered subscriptions, but I wrote down who bought a copy. And, like, kept all the money in a digest-sized manila envelope with all the little notes. And at one point I figured out that I broke even.
Oh, yeah?
And that was good.
Then you celebrated. You went on a
well,
spending
yeah,
binge.
I used the money to print the next issue.
There you go. My father-in-law had an office right above where my little office was at one point, and I could go up there and make copies. Well, I kind of abused that. Okay, severely abused that. He'd be like, "Didn't I just put printer toner in that machine?"
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, "No, I don't think so." Pay their mortgage payment. If you live in a tent. Or a small cardboard box.
Yeah. Wiggle the mouse, yeah. For those of you who don't know, that are watching this at home, we're watching this on a computer monitor, and since the
screensaver.
This goes to screensaver because it doesn't seem to be detecting any activity.
This is a pretty high-tech situation here.
Yeah.
Must admit.
Well, that is a very nice flat screen monitor.
Paid for it with small press? No. My water's way over there. I'll have to edit that out. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, we could leave it in. It's amusing.
I'm gonna get a hat like that too. Sorry. The coonskin cap.
Oh, that what was his name?
Willits or something? Was that him?
Well, we can't exactly rewind and check.
He had the buttons on his shirt and his hat. Whoa.
Saw that happen earlier. It was
really
a problem in the digital mastering, I'm sure.
Don't be alarmed. I don't remember that. I must have been asleep.
It
Weird.
quiets down here.
It's like losing some frames.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I used to know him. That's the.
Oh yeah.
He contributed to Slam Bang some really nice artwork.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'll have to pull out the issue and see if I can figure it out. I keep wanting to see Barry Brandon or something like that. Is that Barry something? Let's see if I can. Thanks. We'll have to do a little research here.
Yeah.
It was one of the middle to end.
Well, you got that stack then.
The one with the red printed cover.
You mean
20, number 20?
Number 20, you have that. Don't you?
There it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in this. Barry Brandon. I was right. God, I'm good. Barry Brandon.
Barry Brandon, okay.
I'm pretty sure that was him.
You'd know better than me. First time I watched this again after a number of years, I focused in on the panel and how
Oh yeah.
I noticed that Jim Pack kind of kept using the phrase citizens publishing over and over again. So I guess this might have been the spark to when he
changed his company.
He didn't change the name of Comic Book Digest or whatever it was called. He stopped doing the Comic Book Newsletter. He stopped doing that, and then when he jumped back into doing new zines, he restarted with the title Citizens Publishing Digest. But yeah, I subscribed to all of his new zines that he's ever put out. There was one point when he was gonna jump back into it in about 90.
You know who that is?
Looks familiar.
Chris Ware.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I didn't remember having I had a couple of half-page strips from him, but I didn't remember this full page.
But
okay, go ahead.
Anyway, Pack was gonna start publishing a news zine again in, I think it was 97. I want to say 97. Because I think in terms of where I was working and which banks did I go to, because I went to a Bank of America to get a money order. So I think it was 97. But apparently he didn't get much of a response from people that he sent out notices to that he was going to restart. So he refunded my money.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and didn't go ahead with. Because I think he was thinking about doing large scale, maybe distribution to regular comic book stores.
I think right nowadays, though, you could have a big review zine online. I mean, it could be just a huge review website, you know, don't you?
Well, many do. Smallpresscomics.com, I think, has online articles. I haven't really checked out that site that recently because they seem to be a little quieter than most sites with forums and such. But once I jump back into it by finishing Mr. Emergency, I'll certainly register to that site and post stuff there. But meanwhile, I'm still mainly hovering about on the SPA forum.
Yeah.
And I review for that site and Dime Store Productions, and when Ian gets where he feels he can restart a magazine and publish it monthly, he'll restart self-publisher, and I'll be doing reviews for that.
Right.
But that was the thing. I loved doing reviews when I was with Comics FX. It was the doing paste up old school with wax and reusing the boards over and over every issue.
Oh man.
That's kind of what burned me out. Because
you know, I did a Ralph Snart fanzine, and the first issue was like 11 by 17 or something.
Wow.
It was
Yeah,
huge.
that's what.
It was crazy. Somebody found all those and scanned them all and put them online. I did 4 issues or something. The other 3 were digest, normal digest size. But I remember pasting it up like that, just the big board.
Yeah. It was a full-time job on top of my regular full-time job.
Right. Funny Animals.
Yep. Jeff's still into Funny Animals.
He did one of my centerfolds once, early on.
Yeah. Okay.
A few other single panel images here and there. What am I saying?
We're answering the question of
what do I like?
Your favorite small press title.
I went blank again, usual. I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, and I'm on the spot here too.
You're already trying to think hard.
Because I've seen so much as a reviewer for CFX.
Exactly.
So.
It's hard to pinpoint, yeah.
There was one that I ordered back when I first started getting involved in small press, like in 84, 85. That was called Picklehead Pro Hero.
Really?
That was funny. It was at the time. It was funny. I'm not sure if it's aged, but
yeah. I started to appreciate the ones that were like, true story. I went on a trip with my friend or whatever, and they would draw it all out. I used to really get almost more into it than I was getting more into it than any of the superhero. That was always kind of my favorite type of stuff. I guess it still is. I don't know why I don't buy more of that kind of stuff, but I think I will be. But that blankets that Thompson, have you ever seen that? I can't remember his first name, but he did this book. He won a bunch of awards just the last year or so.
Wow, okay.
It's called Blankets, and it's a pretty thick. Top Shelf put it out. Top Shelf Books. But anyway, you just start reading, you can't, you're just sucked into it. It's just a true story that happened to him back in, he was right out of college or somewhere in that period, I think, but some love story gone wrong kind of a thing. But anyway, it's just really well drawn and written. I just rented it from the library. You have to go to the written library. They have a whole section of comic stuff, Well, you could never afford all that stuff.
Who does Liberty Meadows?
Oh yeah, Frank Cho.
Frank Cho. I don't know why I don't buy that, because every time, like we were talking about half-price books earlier, my friend Ron and I go to half-price books on rare occasion, and I happen upon these Liberty Meadows and stand there reading it while Ron's just paging through the comics section, seeing what he wants to pick up.
Some great stuff. Is that in a newspaper? Some newspaper, that strip?
Probably.
It looks like it, doesn't
picks it up, yeah, but I only see the collected stuff. Well, I know
there's a really good website about
He has
all that.
a comic like monthly or bi-monthly. Maybe it's quarterly. Just a comic.
Where he collects them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It almost opens up like a calendar or something. It's kind of strange. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen his dinosaur comic book, Marvel, I guess it is?
No.
7-issue limited.
I've heard about it, though.
Sheena, the she.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheena. It's really good.
I haven't bought
They just put the last
since
issue
91.
just came out. Yeah, I met him at one of the card comic shows. Frank.
Oh.
He had the
so he's
original.
down here.
He was showing the original pen and ink he did for one of those amazing Spider-Man covers.
Okay.
It was like, wow. Is this the question part?
Yeah, the audience stuff. 'Cause I think
Oh, yeah. Somebody asked a question there.
Matt Fazell asked the last question, and now it's just... No, that's right. No, it was open up to the audience earlier.
So how old is Matt there, do you think? 28, 30?
He... Probably late 20s. I would think Paul, Curtis, and Matt Fazell are about the same age.
Yeah.
Because they both gotten into small press at the same time. Jeff and I are the same age. We're a year apart. He's a year older than me. And I think Jim Main and Steve Keeter are about the same age.
And they're probably about my age. I think Jim Main might be.
Yeah,
Or a little
Main's a
older
little
than me,
older
maybe.
than you, yeah. And I think Pac's the oldest. Jim Pac's the oldest.
Really?
I'm just kidding. He's been around a long time.
Because you know he might hear this.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, Pac is a teacher.
Oh.
And like an art teacher
Yeah.
or something like that. And Larry Blake was one of his students.
Oh,
so that
really?
kind of,
Wow.
Larry Blake's pretty old.
Yeah.
I would think Blake's about your age.
Mm-hmm. Old.
Well, relatively.
Relatively old. I had fun filming Larry at the Space Con. That was...
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about Kiss and...
Yep.
He got there. I didn't think he was going to show up. But he got there really late because his car broke down.
Oh, wow.
And so he didn't even set out his stuff to sell until like a half an hour at the most before the show was over.
Oh, wow.
So he probably
That's
didn't sell
only
much.
a one-day event.
It was sad. I bought a bunch of stuff from him, though. He had collected those, what is that girl character he had that looks like a Kiss character? He made about 12 or 15 of these hardbacks.
Nightshade or something
Yes,
like that?
Nightshade. He collected them into a hardback, and I bought one. Well, like $20. It's pretty cool. It's like super collector item someday, I would think.
Well, I don't remember if it was Night Star, but there was a cease
got
and desist,
changed, right.
and it was changed to Nightshade or
That's
vice
right.
versa.
But I knew he was really into Kiss, and I was back in college. I was really into it, and I had taken a poster. There was a show at my college of the Kiss, and no one knew who Kiss was, and hardly. And they even had a little slideshow in the Commons area to tell you who Kiss was.
Wow.
And it was hilarious. And
oh well, this was back in
'74.
That's early in their career.
And we got there first, got up in front of the line, and ran to the stage. And it was a small venue anyway. And my friends were pulling stuff off their shoes. And anyway, at the end of the show, I pulled one of the posters off the wall, and 10 years later, sent it to Larry. It was probably one of the kind,
Oh, yeah.
I doubt if anyone saved, and there probably weren't that many to start with.
Right.
But the night that that same night, but early in that evening, we saw them walking across the street. And we were driving around just killing time for the show to start.
Right.
We saw 4 guys in black walking across the street from an ice cream place, all eating ice cream. They had all long black hair. We thought, my God, that could be them. And we went around behind the hotel, and there was their big buses and everything. So we go into the hotel, and it was kind of open, and we looked up, and there was a guard guy standing at the door. We went up to the door, and he just shook his head, go away, you know. So we didn't do anything.
I think I have an issue of Zabani.
She must have put out quite a few issues,
yeah.
Huh? She was about the only one I'd never heard of before when I went to this panel.
Which I'll never finish.
It's still in the works. I have not died.
There might have been there might have been a rumor of.
Oh, was there?
I don't remember.
Or he just hadn't done anything in a while, and
yeah,
he was behind or something, right?
Well, I got.
Yeah, I can't remember. What did those micro comics look like? I remember
about,
those.
I don't know, 2x3 or something.
Yeah.
I
know I had some.
I had
know
some.
I'd heard of it.
I either picked up review copies, or because I don't remember ordering any.
He only puts out once a year, Comet Tales? Is that what he just said?
Yeah, he
about
in his little blurb in the inside of the recent issues, it's like I put it out when I feel like it.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't one of Corgan's new title, New Voice or something, wasn't it called, or New Media or something?
Yeah, New Voice Media. I think
and
he
it
changed
was
the name to that.
Mighty Guy was one of them. I know.
Yeah.
Right. I bought that graphic novel from Corgan.
Wow.
He just put out the big Mighty Guy collected. He's gonna have a second volume.
He restarted SPCE in '97 and did that for about a year or two.
Mm-hmm. Didn't he at one point just had a little folded up kind of newsletter you just unfold, like you put it in an envelope, and it was just reviews, but mostly.
Yeah, but when was that? Was that after the...
It was one of the first things I remember, because I'd kind of dropped out of the whole thing for a while, and then I remember seeing that. It was more like 2001.
Yeah.
2000 something.
Early issues, yeah. Early issues, he brought it back, but called it Small Press Creators Explosion or something, but then he reverted back to comics.
There's Tim and Chuck.
But yeah, he restarted it as a mini comic size.
Getting dizzy.
I try to look for a horizon line.
Where am I? The boat's about to sink.
Yeah.
We're going down. Oh, they're taking pictures of the audience. Somebody. Oh, here we go. Our moment in the spotlight.
Where we announce our plans to take over the comics industry.
Still in development.
Special 3D handshake.
Yes. Shaking hands with a camera. I won't shake it for some reason. You have to help me.
A stunt shake.
Especially still shaking. Right this minute. See, now I'm ready to talk because there's no one listening.
Well,
the crowd's left.
More
so.
one-on-one, and we're just playing around.
Now we're like ready to talk. Plus the pressure's off now.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I got all blurry for a minute, but I felt better later. And I tripped and.
No, that was
Sturma? Is that who that is?
That's Rob Sturma. that was the break where maybe you could put in a little intermission where
Yeah, there you
show
go.
curtains.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, dancing.
Potatoes, fries, and
yeah.
shake. Someone else is filming.
Probably still Ben Lewis.
Ah, little kids.
Well, I rented a couple of years back after I first got a DVD player. I rented It's a Mad, 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 Mad World
Yes.
and Dr. Dolittle. Those have intermissions. They're restored to
That's
DVD.
Funny. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Ben Lewis, Ted Bowman.
And the aspect
And he's
ratio.
the Jesus of cool, you say?
According to Jeff. I think he said that this year in '88.
He was way ahead of his time, I think. That T-shirt looked familiar. I can't see it all. There, is that your shirt?
Where?
That guy's wearing your shirt back there. So there he goes.
Oh.
That sort of looks like your shirt. But that wasn't you. I like her hair.
I didn't know Ted Bowman was handing out money. I would have.
Really? And
I
she
wouldn't
won't
have
take
left that hallway so quickly.
For her books, I assume.
I would guess, yeah. Well,
Don't
I'd
send me
trade
money.
with Ted Bowman, sure. There was
I never knew where to send him the contributor copies.
Yeah. There was an artist-writer in the around about 1990 that wrote and draw a lot like Ted Bowman.
Really?
I think the name's coming back to me, like John Lewis or something.
Huh. You think
I have
he
a
was
bunch of his
changed
work.
his pen name?
No, because I met him and,
Ah.
and he didn't look like
I see.
Ted Bowman at all. He was a local guy. I think he was somewhere in the Seattle area.
Where is Paul Curtis now? No one knows.
I don't know. No, he's still around. Doc Boucher's trying to twist Paul's arm to get him back into making microcomics.
Really?
Yeah. But I'll have to go to interfan.org and see
Yeah.
what the latest news on that is.
And who did you say it was behind him there?
Bobby Weiss.
Bobby Weiss, that's right.
He was in a band at the time.
Is
with
he a
the
senator
long hair.
now?
Yeah. But back then he was a lead guitarist in a band. No, I don't know what he played, but he was in a band.
Yeah.
Because at some point in one of the rooms, I don't think the camera was on, but the question came up as to how many small pressers are musicians or are in bands.
Mm-hmm. National Guard. That's where you learn to print comics.
Apparently they have some sort of government-funded program within the National Guard.
Free Bean World action figures. Wow. You can make soup out of them.
Well, the ink boiling away in the water might be harmful. Or whatever he uses to
that's
draw
his
the
wife.
eyes on the beans, yeah.
Wow. He's got the supermodel and he's drawn beans.
Well.
Nope, wrong pin. Evidently you need a lot of perfect circles for this bean business.
He would need a bean template, wouldn't he? I mean, his comics.
He's left-handed. See, I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, that's later on in the.
Oh yeah.
Or
the
on
other,
a completely separate DVD,
that's on
or
a
I don't know.
secret.
It might be this another special feature.
Shh, top secret.
To be determined, but the Mid-Ohio Con.
Right. I would have been a
Terry
left-handed
Labandos.
artist, except my teacher slapped my hand with a ruler in the 1st grade. And
Really?
said, you must be right-handed like everyone else. And that has messed me up since, I guess.
That happened to a friend of mine.
Really?
She wasn't an artist, but she certainly started out early in life left-handed.
I still do most everything else left-handed, though.
Huh.
If I learn something on my own, it's left-handed. Like playing golf or pool or whatever I'm doing, I do it left-handed. Unless someone shows me, like, my mom taught me how to bowl, so I bowl right-handed to follow what she was doing, you know. But my uncle was left-handed, so he taught me how to play golf, and so I'm all mixed up.
I could throw darts left-handed.
Yeah?
And that's because...
Is it dangerous?
No.
For others?
Well, I figured out like 10 years ago that I'm ambidextrous in a way. I normally write and draw right-handed. And...
Ooh, Megaton.
Oh, Megaton, man.
That was a big issue.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't get to see Brad Foster, though, do we? And we were manning his table at this time, evidently. He's not there.
I met him the year later.
Yeah, he's got a lot
I remember
of
him
stuff.
being there in '88. But he was one who
That's where we had
intimidates me.
That's where we might have had some of our comics scattered out there. I'm not sure. Oh,
he was in the dealer
first
room.
year I met him, he showed me. We were in one of the hotel rooms. You know, just everybody was drawing. He showed me a book the size of a magazine. It was one of those sketchbooks, but it was like 2 or 3 inches thick. Every page was filled with detailed images that he had put in there. I don't know how many years it took him to do that, but it was just incredible. None of it ever been published that I know of.
Huh.
Wow. Fascinating. This is a neat little tour of the dealer's room, isn't it? It's like they're on wheels or something.
Yeah, this is about the speed I walk through the dealer room too.
Yeah.
I never really bought anything.
Here's the yummy fur.
It was the San Diego con that I bought too much.
Ah. That's what will start a comic called Too Much Comics or something. Is there already one?
It might have been.
His name is Brown? Chester Brown?
Chester Brown, that's right, yummy fur.
I used to like that. It was a very strange comic, but it was something like a train wreck. You couldn't look away. You know, you just kept reading it.
I never picked one up.
Really?
I don't. Where's he from? I always assumed
I read a
he
big
was-
interview with him in one of those comic interviews. It was really
Uh-huh.
fascinating, really. Or Comic Journal, one of
Yeah.
those. Fascinating. He started like adapting the Bible in the back half. I mean, the first half's all bizarre, crazy stuff,
Wow.
and then you start reading the Bible, and I'm like, what a combination! Let the '60s die.
I second that.
Pros
are.
are-
I don't know. The
There you
wild-
are. Is that
yeah,
you?
The wild artwork of Sam.
You're holding up
Anderson.
the wall back there.
Well, this is winding down on a Sunday, so I had to like rest for a bit there.
Uh-oh. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I guess we could tack this part at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and buy Small Press Comics.
Yes, especially if we worked on them.
Yeah.
The end.